I'm Ashton from Blockwest Capital for Investment Pitch Media, and today on the Crypto Coin Show we have Harsh Rajat, CEO and founder of EPNS, the Ethereum Push Network Service, or name service, sorry. It's a bit of a mouthful there, but I'm excited to dive into this with you, Harsh, because the cryptocurrency and blockchain industry is just so fast moving and it's hard to keep up with the news, and I'm sure that EPNS it helps with that, because they say if you're not struggling to keep up in cryptocurrency, then you're not looking hard enough. So let's dive right into it. Thank you so much for joining today on the show.
Thanks for having me, Ashton. And just a little change. We are Ethereum push notification service, but yeah, the email service just as works just as well. I think you nailed the description exactly bang on, but just to make sure it comes from me as well. So, in essence, what EPNS is building is the communication layer for the entire Web3. In that way, Ethereum is a misnomer. Why do we need it? Well, because if we just think about it, the first thing that we do in our day-to-day virtual interaction or in our Web2 world is essentially interact through everyone through notifications. Like we get up in the morning and we look at our phone and we see notifications from everything and everyone, whether it's important emails, whether it's PayPal payments, whether it's bank, whether it's any social media things that we are doing, whether it's gaming, everything comes to us in notification. Even something as personal as chatting through friends. We're not as much as chatting to friends as much as we are chatting through notifications. In essence, Web2 has figured out that you on Web2 are a username, and they have services have figured out that hey, if something of importance has occurred for you, they will figure a way out to reach out to you and make sure that it works out just as well. But that's just Web2, right? When you came to Web3, this communication was essentially missing. And more so, the basic primitive notifications were really absent when we started back around 2020 via ETH Global. And what it did was it created a huge UX barrier. And it created a terrible UX experience as well. For example, my loans, they were liquidated, but there was no way for the protocol to communicate to wallet addresses that were Web3 usernames. And this thing just got bigger and bigger. Like governance proposals, they come and go, and we were not able to talk to wallet addresses and tell them that this governance proposal is up for their votes to be casted on. ENS domains, they got expired, and people then get to know that the ENS domain has expired. And even something as simple as when you were sending crypto payments to your decentralized wallets, you had no way of knowing that you got your payment or you send your payment out. So in essence, all of these happened because there was a lack of communication primitive on Web3 as a whole. And that is what EPNS fulfilled. We are essentially a decentralized communication protocol using which any app, any smart contract, any protocol, any backend can send notifications and by large all form of communication that are tied directly to a user wallet address. And this is done in a secure, encrypted, open network, which essentially means just like how any crypto wallet can look at our account's Ethereum blockchain data. In similar way, any crypto wallet can just tap into this network of ours and can show all the communications out. And when we did that, it basically solved the problem of communication for Web3. And we went on Ethereum Mainnet around 16 January, and we are empowering communications for a lot of cool protocols, including Uniswap, DYOR, MakerDAO, Aragon, Gitcoin, Polygon, Bancor, and so on. So yeah, that's the TLDR of what Ethereum push notification service is.
Amazing. Thank you for that intro, Harsh, and for the correction. And you're right about notifications. I feel like in Web2, and they sort of can run your life, if you don't take control of what notifications you have. First thing you wake up in the morning is check the notifications, and whether all of those are valuable or not, sort of managing what information you want to take in and what information you don't by silencing notifications is very important to sort of managing the important tasks of the day. But I feel like in Web3, that system just doesn't exist without EPNS. And for all those different functionalities you mentioned, whether it's just checking the price of Bitcoin going up above the price that you wanted to buy it at, or making sure that the transaction that you sent confirmed, not having to manually refresh your wallet waiting for your payment to come in for your work, or just checking the crypto news. I feel like all of these could benefit from notification service, never mind a decentralized notification service. I feel like that makes it even harder, not just taking notifications from different platforms and networks and trying to conglomerate them, but doing it in a decentralized way that works through a secure protocol. I can imagine that makes it even harder to make this proper and to sort of filter out the noise. So how have you and your team managed to sort of make the protocol efficient and ensuring that people get the notifications that they want and not the ones that they don't want?
Got it. I mean, that's an excellent question, Ashton. And the way we did it, the way we handled spam for notification is by making this protocol a user opt-in. So in essence, notifications can only be sent out by a protocol to a wallet address only if the wallet address has gone ahead and opted in for notification on our protocol. And this is done in a gasless way, just to make sure that the user experience remains paramount. You're right, like everything needs notification. Like without notification, even the Zoom meeting would not have been possible, because Google Calendar sent me a notification, and most likely that was the same case with you. And that is very important. Like in Web3, it's extremely crucial. Like I talked about DeFi, I talked about governance. Like both of the cases, notifications can really make a big impact. But if you talk about the things that are coming in Web3, like social networks, Lens, without notifications, like you will not know that someone followed you on Twitter, or someone is DMing you, or you have a tweet out from a follower or someone you follow. You will not know that. And the social media gets so noisy that without notifications specific to you, you will not be able to, venture out on those things. And, it gets bigger from there. Like, look at Metaverse. How will we communicate with Metaverse? We need to have a way by which we can communicate to wallet addresses. And all of those things is essentially like when you start thinking about all of those things and how to solve, then EPNS becomes the solution. Of course, like one thing I wanted to highlight, like our goal is to be the Web3 communication stack. So it's not just about notifications, but yeah, everything starts with a notification, and that's why we had to start with a notification. But yeah, in essence, whatever communication stack needs are there for Web3, EPNS is probably the best solution, or the only solution in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And when I think of notifications, I really think of the user experience of having your phone and just swiping down, and boom, there's all of the important things that you've set right there. And the notifications are sort of built into each one of those applications, communicating with the phone to make it easy. I feel like it's way harder on Web3. How do you replicate and improve upon the user experience of notifications in Web3 to make sure that you're conveniently getting the notifications, and then when you click on those, they go to the corresponding platform to do whatever you're going to do with that notification?
Awesome. Again, amazing question. The way we solved it, like, see, Web2 and Web3 are very different in this case. Like Web2 apps have different usernames, and therefore a notification flows from an app to their username. In Web3, that's not the case. In Web3, and that's why we had to create a decentralized Web3 version for the notification and communication as a whole. But yeah, in Web3, your username is your wallet address, right? And that is shared, which means that you use that username on Uniswap, you use it on Aave, you use it on Lens, you use it on any app that you are interacting with. And you also use it to send and receive payments or buy NFT. So your wallet address is a shared username for Web3. And the best way for shared username to operate in Web3 is making sure that the shared username data is open but still secured, like exactly how blockchain data is. Like Ethereum, I can access my Ethereum account from MetaMask or from Trust or any other wallet. And what they are doing is they are interacting with the Ethereum network, and they're getting all the information about my account and displaying it to me. And then if I have imported my private key in that crypto wallet, I can essentially sign transactions and send those transactions out. That's the same way like notifications work on Web3, wherein this open network can be adopted by any crypto wallet, any crypto dApp, any crypto front end, because shared username. So it needs to have shared info for communication. So users can basically see their notifications or communications from any front end. And if the notifications are encrypted, or if any form of communications are encrypted, then essentially the front end, if the front end has their private key, then they will be able to decrypt those notifications out and show it to the users. Otherwise, no one will be able to see it. So this is how like the architecture of Web3 is vastly different from the architecture of Web2.
That's good to know. And as more millions of new crypto users come into the industry, start using different exchanges, different wallets, do you at EPNS have to manually make a partnership with that wallet to get people to start using EPNS? Or can people sort of use integrations without your team having to go and make all of these partnerships?
Got it. Yeah, so it's an open permissionless protocol. So any crypto wallet can integrate with us. Any protocol can also integrate with us when it comes to sending notifications out. Currently, I think in terms of integrations on the receiving notification side, the users can go to app.epns.io and they can see the notifications over there, or can install our extension, or can install our mobile app, and they will see the same notifications. And the wallet integration is of course coming, but it's coming in Q4. But as I said, I think we have a lot of dApps already now that have integrated notifications. So it has already started. And yeah, anyone can basically just go ahead and integrate the protocol out, and that's about it. I mean, the beauty of Web3 is it needs to be permissionless, right?
Definitely, yeah. And speaking of making it permissionless and sort of making it easy for people to get notifications across the board, having the E in EPNS sort of tied onto the Ethereum network, how do you see the future of what they call multi-chain operation, sort of Ethereum and the Ethereum virtual machine working with other blockchains or working with centralized solutions, so that when people start using other blockchains, that EPNS will work with everything else?
Yeah, so the idea or the vision when we started was always to be the de facto communication protocol for Web3, or basically enable all the communication stacks of Web3. Our vision is essentially that a user of any other blockchain, even Solana, can send a notification or any form of communications out to a user of Ethereum and vice versa. Similarly, for a service or a protocol of Ethereum, they can notify even a Solana user and that something of importance might have occurred for them. So the way we see Web3 users is like I can be a user of Ethereum and Polygon and any other blockchain, right? So there's an identity that should be tied to it. And that identity should basically have these notifications or communications. So I don't even have to come on Ethereum and then come on a dApp to realize that something I've interacted with requires my attention. It will just flow very smoothly through all the Web3 layers. That's how we designed it like from the very start. So the only reason we are slow on Ethereum and haven't gone like the entire multi-chain journey yet. The only reason is that we wanted to make sure that we invented perfect notifications first on one blockchain, make sure that it's working really, really well, which I think we did because we have sent over 15 million notifications for the apps or protocols that I just told you about. And we have now 60,000 users who have opted in to receive these notifications. And it's essentially free for the users and for the services also to send notifications. So it works really, really well. It just improves the UX a lot. But yeah, now that we have done that, that was just the start of the grand plan that we had. So without giving anything away, I would want to say like these 3 months are going to be really, really exciting for us. And it's going to be really, really exciting for the Web3 users as a whole when it comes to anything communication.
Very cool, Harsh. I'm looking forward to those updates when they come out. And I saw, speaking of sort of future plans and what's coming next for EPNS, I saw that next week you're going to one of the biggest conferences of the year, the Masari Mainnet conference, to speak alongside Aave, some DeFi platforms, and some other blue chip blockchain projects. What are you sort of looking at as the main trends and what you're going to be speaking to these big projects about with EPNS sort of moving forward in the industry?
Got it. Yeah. So I think I'm speaking along with Sunny and as you said, a lot of other cool founders about social network economics, why they're broken and how it can be fixed. But more broadly, we are going to speak about social network and the way the next step of what would be the next step of Web3 and where Web3 is headed and how we will replace some of these things that we take for granted on Web2. And because of that, of course, Web2 services kind of misuse that as well. So some of these things, how can we perfect that in Web3? And that's why social network economics and how to fix it.
Yeah, that's good to know because I feel like for the majority of Web2 users, a lot of their notifications, at least on their phone, the first thing is from their social media networks, whether it's from their friends or it's just from the social media platform, trying to bug them about something to get their attention so they can click the notification and get back to the platform. And from what I've seen over the last 6-7 years, there really hasn't been a Web3 social media network that has had the success that any of these Web2 platforms have had. Whether they've tried to work out tokenomics or financial incentives or freedom incentives, there still hasn't been something that's broken through into the mainstream. Do you see some kind of solution in social media networks moving forward where something needs to be done to sort of break through to beyond blockchain?
I do see that. The issue as a whole is about user friction. Just to give you an example, our action on Web3 usually gets divided into 10 actions. Like if I want to interact with the protocol, I cannot do it if I have just created a wallet. I will probably install MetaMask, but then I cannot do it until I get Ethereum in it. So now I'll go and see how to get Ethereum. And then, those steps will again go into sending the Ethereum inside, buying a Ethereum inside the exchange, then sending it out. And then finally, I'm able to interact with it. So I do feel like innovation and adoption, they're like two different beasts. And when we started innovating, we knew that where we are headed. And at this phase, I think now we are at the point where we realize that, we have done a lot of innovations and now it's time for adoption. So I still see that, users from Web2 to Web3, their transition should be very smooth. They should not even realize that, they have transformed. And I think now we are getting there. Like, we'll still take some time to get there, but we are getting there by figuring out meta transactions, by figuring out communication, by figuring out, how to do a social network right. So I don't see like social network as a failed experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I see it like a stepwise innovation, like how we started with the early days of internet, wherein we could only download the image in 2 minutes or more, and now we take images and real-time video for granted, right? So that is what I see. In the next 5 to 10 years, we'll be able to achieve that. And I tie the success or the amount of user movement to adoption rather than innovation, because you need to provide user with a really seamless user experience and UI for them to take interest in you. I mean, users are essentially, if you think about it, users are like you and me. We really have time to try out cool products, and then really we have time to learn about new things. So if we are able to eliminate learning about new things, or really reduce it a lot, the user adoption will definitely come.
Mm-hmm. Great insights, Harsh, and I agree. You can only innovate so much without anyone adopting it before you realize you're not really getting anywhere. So when that adoption comes, I think that's going to be a huge part. And within the next 5 years, there should be some kind of breakthrough in social networks and driving more people into Web3 in a way that they don't even know that it's happening. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to these updates with EPNS that you hinted at as well. What is the best way for people to follow along with those updates and to start getting push notifications and using the platform?
Well, the best way to follow updates is to go to EPNS.io, scroll all the way down, and you will see Twitter. But in case you want to directly go to EPNS project at Twitter or Telegram. But yeah, we are really active on Twitter or on Discord. So EPNS.io, scroll all the way down, click on those links. That's the best way out. To get notifications or to see notifications in action, just go to app.epns.io and that's about it. Try to play with the app. There's a live walkthrough which also explains all those things in action. So yeah, you can go ahead and start experiencing notifications even right now.
Sounds great, Harsh. I will leave those links in the description box. Thank you so much for taking the time. All the best with EPNS and at the Mainnet conference coming up. And let's follow up in the near future.
Thanks for having me, Ashton.